Well, hello and welcome to Where Are We?, where we unravel the mysteries of Saint Vincent College one episode at a time. Now today we're obviously outdoors and a little off the beaten path from the college itself, but it's also a very interesting place and full of learning, knowledge, and it's also a lot of fun to be down here. This place helps St. Vincent do its part in cleaning the environment and protecting the environment, but it uses no sort of mechanics and it's all natural. At this point you may be asking yourself, where are we? We're at the wetlands at Saint Vincent College. We hope you stick around because we have a fantastic show lined up for you. Well, today's episode is being brought to you by Emma's Wetland Adventure by Philip M. Camfush. Now this is a great read. It's good for adults and children interested in learning about the wetlands, and all the information that I'm giving you today is straight out of this book. So I suggest checking it out, and it helps us all understand why, this water behind me is so dark and murky, and why as we go from the different wetlands from pond to pond, the water gets clearer and clearer up until the end where we'll see the water comes out clean. So stick around. Well, for those new to the wetlands, there's this handy informational board that they set up that tells you basically the path of the wetlands through all the different cells as the water gets cleaner and cleaner, and information about the project, how to learn more, get involved, a little bit of everything. So if you're new to the wetlands, this is where I encourage you to go first to learn where you're going and what you should be doing here. As you can see right now, this map shows us that we're at the parking area, and as we travel east, we'll hit each of the 5 cells, and then eventually end up in 4 Mile Run where the clean water comes out. As you can see in cell 1, the water is very orange, very contaminated, because that's where the contaminated abandoned mine water is coming into. And as it goes through cell 2, 3, 4, and 5, it gets cleaner and cleaner with help of the cattails and slowing the water down, and eventually empties out clean into 4 Mile Run. Right now, I'm at basically where the wetland starts. This big pipe is bringing in contaminated water to the wetlands in order to be cleaned and then put back into 4 Mile Run. Now, where does this water come from? Basically, this water is from abandoned coal mines. Once they were abandoned, they filled up with groundwater. The groundwater was then contaminated with things like coal and iron pyrite, which is known to us as fool's gold, and this contaminates the water. However, when the water comes in, you can see that it's very clear. This is because the iron pyrite doesn't oxidize and become rusty until it reaches the surface. So let's follow this water through the different wetlands and see how it becomes purified. At this point, you may be asking yourself, why is the water in the wetlands matching the color of my shirt? And this is because when the abandoned mine drainage water comes up and it reaches the air, it oxidizes, it turning the iron that's already in the water into iron oxide, more commonly known as rust. So everything you see around me is rust stained. The plants, the bottom of the wetlands here, everything, even the rocks, whatever else may be around. And this pollution makes the water extremely unhealthy. I mean, nothing's going to live in here. You'll get sick if you drink it. And the plants aren't going to do so well either. Only a very few things can grow here. So let's find out how the water goes from this to clear. Follow me. Now, as I said before, the wetlands are completely natural. There's no machinery, no engines, pumps, nothing man-made here. So then why do the wetlands work? Well, there's 2 main reasons for this. The first is because the water slows down a lot when it passes through these constructed wetlands. It used to take about 2 seconds for the water coming up from the bubbler in the abandoned mine drainage to get to the contamination site where it was infecting the stream. And now the process takes about 2 days for that same water to get there. By slowing the water down, it's basically making the iron oxide molecules sink because they're heavier when they get that slow, which is why you have this orange rust covering all of the plants and the bottoms of this area. And the second reason is because of these cattails. Now, cattails are one of the few things that will grow in the acidic nature of this water, and their roots are very complex and big, so they capture more of the iron oxide molecules, which also helps to clean the water. So, in the end, through this natural process, you're going to end up with a lot cleaner water. Now, as we get away from the more orange and rust-covered cells of 1 and 2, we get down to cells 3 and 4, where the water is a lot less murky, as you can see behind me. It still has a little bit of that orange tint to it, but it's really just not as bad. And you can see there's more plant life growing around the area, There's more animals around, and there's even things starting to live in the water, as you can see over here. Another great thing about these wetlands is it's used for a lot more than just scientific purposes and just cleaning the water. It's also used for educational purposes. There's all kind of college courses you can take here on abandoned mine drainage, environmental science, anything like that. And there's even courses up at the grist mill, our coffee house, where there's more learning laboratories for kids to learn about these wetlands. There's also nature trails around here, and it's just a great place for fitness, for fun, for beauty, anything you want. It seems that these wetlands can provide. So I really encourage you to check them out. Now beside me is the box maple. Now how do I know that? I mean, even if you can't tell the difference between a weeping willow and a pine tree, you can still figure this out at the wetlands at Saint Vincent College. That's because other than the scientific aspect, there's also an aesthetically pleasing aspect of all kind of nature surrounding you at the wetlands. Now these boards beside me can tell you the type of tree you're standing under, the leaf pattern, and also its scientific name. So really the learning never stops at the wetlands, and you can learn something new every time you come down here. Let's take a look at the next one. Right here we have the Coosa dogwood. Let's go check out the next one. Here's the mountain ash. I think he's seen some better days. Moving on. And finally, the red maple. Just once again, just a few of the things you can learn by checking out the wetlands at Saint Vincent College. Well, and I enjoy some of the snacks that the wetlands can provide. Why don't we take a short commercial break? I'll see you in a bit. Now you're going to have to be quiet because here I am at bird box number 25. Now these bird boxes are located all over the wetlands, and they're home to all kind of different birds. Now in this one, I know you can't see it, but there's a little beak poking out, and there's probably a mom coming around, so I'm going to have to hurry out of here. But if you want to check out all kind of birds like Baltimore Orioles, the red-winged blackbird, the tree finch, anything like that, you should come and check out these bird boxes because it'll be a great experience. As you can see, some of these bird boxes are marked Home for Wildlife, Please Do Not Disturb. This is because, birds have obviously taken a nest up in here, and, you want to keep this place a safe place for animals to be and, multiply, so these warnings are put up. Well, if you want to follow me, I'll show you where all the hard work of the wetlands pays off. As you can see, here's where the water comes out. And it's very clear, very refreshing, looks a lot better than the orange mess that we visited in the first cell. And what's great about this is that the water just doesn't, end up here, and this isn't the end of it. The water flows from here into 4 Mile Run, and then into the Loyalhanna Creek, or the Loyalhanna Crick as we call it in western Pennsylvania, and eventually into the Mississippi River and Gulf of Mexico. So by helping this polluted stream here, we're helping ecosystems way down the river and all over the world be a lot cleaner. So I hope you understand the importance of these wetlands. Well, in wrapping up here, I just wanted to say that the book, once again, where I got all of this information, was in Emma's Wetlands Adventure. If you want more information, I suggest you definitely would check this book out. It's by Philip M. Canfush, and was a great read for adults and children alike. I hope you'll join us on our next episode of Where Are We? And also, we hope you enjoyed this one. Thanks for watching.